Hi, I'm Scott Vaughn with UBM TechWeb's Create Your Next Customer, and today I'm with Jeremy Burton, EMC's Executive Vice President and Chief Marketing Officer. We're going to focus on what you're doing in terms of marketing. There is a lot of transformation and change going on, and we want to dig into it. One of the things I'm fascinated with, you're an engineer by trade,
right?
Yeah. And you race Miatas.
That's right.
So tell me a little bit about this, how this whole racing and Miatas specifically, how does it relate to marketing? Or do they?
Well, I think most marketing folks are adrenaline junkies, probably, otherwise you would never do this job. And certainly the racing, there's a healthy dose of adrenaline. There's also a healthy dose of escapism, right? You're hit with so many things during the day. I mean, I think racing and probably skiing are the two things I've done where, you know, when you're in the heat of the action there, you don't think about anything else other than that. But there are definitely parallels between the two. I mean, I think marketing, I see too many marketing people that are scared. They're scared to try things. You often get caught between the sales guy and the product development guy, trying to keep both happy, and you're trying to be safe and conservative, and I'm with this big Fortune, whatever, 500 company, and can we try anything, and what will the lawyers think? You can't think like that.
Well stated. You got to face your fears.
Yeah, and I think you know, car racing is exactly the same, right? You've got to really take calculated risks, and at some point during the race, you will have to use your experience to take a risk, and if it pays off, if you get it right, you'll pass the car in front. And I've never worried in racing about having the occasional crash or two, as long as I have more finishes than crashes, right? I mean, you're playing an averages game, and I think the same is true in marketing. It's
your record at the end of the game, not, you know, one inning or one quarter or whatever it is.
Did you move the needle?
One race, yeah.
Right, did you move the needle? If I was in a company where I felt like my hands were tied and I couldn't take any risks and I couldn't make an impact, I'd go work somewhere else, because I think marketeers who, if you're in a privileged position to work for the CEO, you want to make an impact and you want to make a difference, and part of that is taking a risk. And as I said, I'd love to see more corporate marketing types take more risks.
Great advice, great advice. So look out at the road ahead from a marketing standpoint. You're making some moves past the 1-year mark. EMC is doing a lot of interesting things. New markets, trends you're capitalizing on, thought leadership. What does the next 12 months look like for you and for EMC marketing?
Yeah, I think we've got to keep going on this kind of community and world of social media. I mean, we had a good run at it in the last 6-9 months. Did a couple of campaigns that were led with social media. I think we have scratched the surface of what that channel can do for us. You know, we're still learning. You know, iPads are starting to come online. We've done some test runs on advertising on iPad. Not totally figured out yet. Even the guys building the apps, I think even Apple themselves have not really figured out the model.
No, I think that's safe.
But look at the
you're diving in, though. That's the key.
You have to. Back to what I said a second ago. You got to take the risk. You know, should we spend the couple $300,000 it takes to do a test program or not? I think you have to, because I think you've got to know the limits of the technology. Because that's then going to guide your thinking over the coming year as to maybe where you develop skills in the organization. I think video is huge. At EMC World this year, I would say 20% of our video production was live action.
Wow.
80% of it was composite. And you look at that to 5 years ago, where it was all live action.
Right.
The kind of things that you can do are unbelievable. Even our own EMC TV is shot in a shoebox, a green screen shoebox. But if you were to watch it on the monitor, you'd think it was in an ESPN studio. So video, I think, is going to be huge. And look, boring old analytics and systems and process automation. It's a staple and a fundamental. And I think as CMO, it's ultimately how you keep your job. You've got to show that you're spending the money in the right areas, and you've got to deliver the metrics back to the guys who matter, which is the guys running the business.
Right. You could keep that machine humming along and make sure you're building that infrastructure to pull through the analogy.
And if you're getting off track, which you inevitably will get off track, I'd much rather know I'm getting off track after a few weeks rather than after months or a year.
Yeah.
So, you know, you've always then got time to course correct and get back on track.
I love that phrase, course correct. It's so visual in what you have to do. And it's easy to chase a lot of shiny objects these days with all the new marketing technologies and systems and social media, so you've got to make some choices there too.
Well, my last job, I ran a software company, and we were building tools to help development teams manage agile development projects. Because, you know, the big challenge with software development is that you run for 2 years, and at the end of 2 years you show up with the wrong thing. And agile development tries to make sure that you come up with the right thing. And what dawned on me, and I've not fully gotten to the bottom of it in marketing, but that whole agile development methodology is much more relevant to marketing than it ever was to R&D. And I'd love at some point to have a full-on agile methodology for the way that we run projects within marketing, because it's all about sprints and iteration and building change into the process so that you can course correct. And these year-long marketing projects where, you know, you lock down your requirements and deliver the project at the end, none of them work.
Yeah, big bang is out.
Big bang is out, yeah, absolutely.
Well, Jeremy, thank you. We appreciate your insights and sharing with all the Create Your Next Customer subscribers and visitors into the tech marketing community, and congratulations for all the work you've done.
Okay, thanks.